WAOW. Here's what's happening right now.
Furloughed workers in Wisconsin gather to talk about how the shutdown is affecting their lives.
And we're tracking some cold air over the next few nights. We'll let you know what to expect.
Plus, hear how Central Wisconsin women are hoping to spark new ideas and inspire change. The news at 5 starts right now.
We've got you covered. This is 9 News at 5.
But first at 5, the Wisconsin Department of Justice is now saying an officer's bullets likely killed a man during a standoff last week in Waushara County. Police responded to a domestic violence call on October 16th, where they say 51-year-old Timothy Lehman fired at a deputy and then barricaded himself inside the building near State Road 73 and County Road O north of Wautoma. Officers say they then heard gunshots come from inside before eventually entering to find Lehman dead from what they believed at the time were self-inflicted injuries. The DOJ's new report finds it was the officer's gunshots which likely hit and killed him. Deputy Alex Midthun, who has been with the sheriff's office for almost 5 years, is now on administrative leave while the DOJ continues to investigate. No officers were injured. The WAOW man who was arrested and charged in connection to a deadly shooting on the city's west side last month had a court hearing today. 34-year-old Dustin Stinson faces first-degree intentional homicide, felony tampering with a GPS device, and a number of other charges. This all tied to the death of 31-year-old Jacob Socha. That shooting happened on September 14th. Stinson appeared in court today via Zoom from the Taylor County Jail. His review hearing is scheduled for next week, Wednesday. But first, check the forecast. We go to 9 Storm Track meteorologist Jackson Golick with that. Hi, Jackson.
Hey, another chilly day outside with the cloud cover and rainfall. Looks like that dreary pattern kind of continuing as we track throughout the rest of today. Here's a look at our temperatures. The warmest we were outside today, low to mid 40s across the region. Definitely cooler than normal and not feeling great with that rainfall. High temperatures across the Midwest do show some warmer air off to the west. That'll slowly be working in as we track later into the week. So the weekend does look to be a little bit milder. Take a look outside. There's Weston showing a bit of a gray scene. You can see showers continually pushing into the state, mainly here from the northwest. And you can see there is more activity up to our north and northwest, meaning we'll likely have showers continue into the late evening and overnight hours, especially for those north of Wausau, especially north of Rhinelander. Now, it is expected to be on the chilly side tonight. Despite the overcast skies, we will be dropping down into the 30s. What that means is for those in the Northwoods, we could be getting close to freezing and maybe seeing our first few flakes of snowfall. We'll be tracking that out with our full forecast coming up.
Jackson, thank you. A WAOW man is facing multiple child sex-related felony charges. 20-year-old Jensen Clements, who has since moved to Rice Lake, was in court today for a review hearing. He is charged with sexual assault of a child under the age of 16 and sexual exploitation of a child involving filming. This for incidents authorities say happened in Wausau back in May. Court records show Clements is also being charged as a repeat offender for multiple misdemeanors, including threatening students in Rice Lake last year. He is now being held in the Barron County Jail on a separate offense. He is next due in court in a week. The Marathon County Sheriff's Office wants your help identifying a person they say robbed the Rib Mountain Liquor and Tobacco store earlier this month. They say the person entered the store at around 8:30 at night on October 5th and stole a bank bag containing cash. The suspect is described as a roughly 5'10" white man with a medium build and a tattoo on his lower back. Authorities say it's possible that it's the Monster Energy drink logo. Anyone with information is asked to contact authorities or Marathon County Crime Stoppers. A fatal crash in Waupaca County has claimed 1 life. At around 10:30 this morning, the Waupaca County Sheriff's Office says a car on Old Highway 49 collided with a truck and trailer on U.S. Highway 10 in Fremont. Despite life-saving efforts, the driver of the car died at the scene. The truck driver was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Traffic was slowed for several hours during the cleanup. No names have been released as the crash is still under investigation. Many local small business leaders gathering today at the Pines Event Center in Rhinelander for another year of the Fall Summit. It's hosted annually by the Oneida County Economic Development Corporation. The yearly conference offers business leaders an opportunity to learn about the overall economy of the Northwoods. Oneida County has seen almost 70 new startup companies in the last year, which organizers say is a very good number for a smaller county. Economists in Wisconsin say the economy in the Northwoods has seen an impressive rise.
It always helps me to come up here so I have understanding what's going on the ground. What I saw the data coming through is the huge turnaround that Oneida County has had in the last 2 years. The number of businesses happening on the ground and the overall gains in employment, it was remarkable over the last 2 years.
Organizers say the turnout for the event was much larger than expected, and it makes them excited to see how motivated these local businesses are going forward. Meanwhile, women across central Wisconsin came together today at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, inspiring change and sparking new ideas. Reporter Kalyan Lee shows us.
From launching business to social change, today's conference gave women the tools and confidence to start something new. 225 community members joined the Women's Trailblazers Conference, focused on empowering voices and building connections.
Are bringing a message of empowering and uplifting women, also inviting male allies to join us at this conference and lift everyone up.
The event not only unites the community, but highlights opportunities for women to take on leadership roles across Wisconsin.
To show people that this is their opportunity to stand up and be leaders in their communities.
Organizers say the conference continues to grow each year, drawing more people to make a change.
Every year we hope that this continues to be a draw for our community members.
Keynote speaker Amber Cabral shared lessons on empowerment, drawn from her book Say More About That.
How to speak up for yourself and advocate for others, and how to be resilient and live your best life in turbulent times.
For Praza, that message goes beyond the room.
Because I have a 16-year-old daughter, I want her to grow up to be someone that feels that she can do whatever it is she dreams of.
Organizers say it's a movement empowering women to lead boldly and make an impact.
And it's a time to come together and lift each other up and learn new skills and tools to keep moving forward on our trailblazing journeys.
Reporting in Stevens Point, I'm Kalyan Lee.
The federal government shutdown is now officially the second longest in U.S. history. We are at 22 days and counting now. The Senate is expected to vote once again today on a short-term clean funding bill for the 12th time, but it is expected to fail. The sticking point for Democrats remains the Obamacare subsidies, something Republican Senator Ron Johnson is saying won't be a problem for Americans if it's removed.
I don't think this is going to be any kind of gut-wrenching problem if these enhanced subsidies just go away. We will probably have to weather the lies told by the Democrats. But again, we're happy to work with Democrats and fix.
The senator's comments this morning coming on CNBC. Now, during this shutdown, some federal workers are continuing to be paid while others are not. Of the many furloughed workers, some live here in Wisconsin. Today, a group gathered in Madison to talk about how the shutdown is affecting their families. Lauren Abazad reports.
Dozens of furlough workers gathered here at the Social Security building in Madison, where Mark Pocan provided pizza in show of support. I spoke with several workers who tell me how they're preparing, missing a paycheck at the end of this week. Grant Kirker, a research technologist who's been with Forest Products Lab for nearly 16 years, says one of his biggest concerns is supporting his family.
I had a senior in high school, and I've got another one that's a freshman in college, so those bills don't stop. So they have to be paid, and this drags on, for much longer. I'm going to have to get creative.
Ellie Lalarstick, a physical science technician at the same lab, says the shutdown is creating real financial strain, especially when it comes to childcare.
With flexible daycare, they still need usually about 2 weeks notice if you're going to try to change your schedule, and so it's hard to kind of scale that back without knowing when a furlough is going to end.
When I asked Representative Pocan what he thought of some federal workers being paid while others are not, he called it disrespectful.
You can't pay some people and not others, some people for working and some people for not working.
At this moment, more than 750,000 federal employees have been furloughed. Furlough workers tell me their workload is piling up, and despite not being paid, their deadlines still remain. In Madison, I'm Lauren Abuzet.
Well, it appears a lot of people are cashing in on the skyrocketing price of gold. The precious metal hit a record high of about $4,400 per ounce on Monday, but there was a big sell-off yesterday as prices tumbled more than 5%, which is the biggest one-day drop in over a decade. Gold is viewed as a safe haven asset in times of economic uncertainty. However, it is still up almost 50% over the last year. Well, you have only a few more hours to enter our annual pumpkin carving contest here at 9 News. It's something we do every single year, and we'd like to see your artwork. So carve those pumpkins and get those photos in. The deadline is midnight tonight. Just head over to our website, WAOW.com, for more information and submit your entry. Then starting tomorrow, you will have a chance to vote for your favorite one. Still ahead here on the News at 5, ICE efforts continue to ramp up in more cities across the country. Plus,
she got about halfway to the driveway and I'm like, fire, fire.
See how a Minnesota woman helped potentially save a bus full of kids.
And a small few of us could see a few flakes of snowfall early tomorrow morning with the rainfall passing through the state. We'll let you know what to expect with these chilly temperatures coming up.
Welcome back. Immigration raids in some of the country's biggest cities are leading to growing protests. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, at the same time, immigration agents are facing unprecedented violence. ABC's Jocelyn Lee reports that despite some chaos, ICE officials say they will not stop with enforcement.
In Chicago today, a large crowd gathering after what appears to be an immigration operation on the city's southwest side. Some people seen taking video of the agents and shouting at them. Our Chicago station reporting there was a car crash, but what led up to it or who was involved is not known. Armed federal agents and several unmarked vehicles on the scene. Just a day ago in New York, a chaotic scene as masked federal officers raid the city's Chinatown neighborhood.
It's gotten a little hairy at points with people running, people falling down in the street, and federal agents running after them.
Federal agents say they arrested 9 people on Canal Street, one of the city's most famous streets for vendors selling knockoff designer goods. In this video, one agent pointing his taser at the crowd, and in another, protesters on the streets shouting obscenities at officers. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons saying today on Fox News, New York City can expect to see more arrests.
It's definitely intelligence driven. It's not random. We're just not pulling people off the street. There was a specific reason based on criminal intelligence and criminal activity that we showed up on Canal Street.
Also Tuesday in Los Angeles, a targeted law enforcement traffic stop led to the shooting of a suspected undocumented immigrant and a law enforcement officer. According to the Department of Homeland Security, 44-year-old Carlitos Ricardo Parillas allegedly tried to evade arrest by using his car to ram a law enforcement vehicle. Officers then firing defensive shots, according to officials, with a deputy U.S. Marshal struck in the hand by a ricochet bullet. Parillas shot in the elbow. Parillas runs a well-known TikTok account with about 130,000 followers and follows ICE operations in Los Angeles, according to a community organization. He has been charged with assault on a federal officer.
A Department of Homeland Security official saying law enforcement officers are facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them and calling for an end to violence against ICE. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
More and more people are using weight loss drugs, and some new data shows it's costing employers big time. The study says so many people are using expensive GLP-1 medications that some companies are reconsidering whether they should cover the cost. The number of larger companies covering obesity drugs soared to 43% this year, up from 28% last year. Among smaller firms with less than 1,000 workers, only about 16% provide coverage for obesity drugs. If you want to keep adding candles to your birthday cake every year, you should walk more, especially if you're an older woman. According to new research released in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, elder families, or rather females, who walked at least 4,000 steps at least once a week lowered the risk for death by 26%. If that threshold was met 3 times a week, the risk of death by any cause fell 40%.
Now, your 9 Storm Track weather forecast.
Hey, you may not have much longer to enjoy all the pretty fall colors on the trees. In this video from Rib Mountain today, you can see a lot of trees are past peak and the leaves are starting to fall off. Jackson, what do we have going forward?
Well, we have some more cool and breezy conditions, a little bit more rainfall as well. Unfortunately, right as we hit peak conditions, we had breezy winds and rain, both allowing for those leaves to rapidly fall off, but still plenty bright if you're heading out to view the fall colors. We do want to talk about our snowfall contest. Now, thankfully, not expecting any snowfall in the Wausau area in the upcoming forecast, but we do want to mention as that ends tonight. So you have until midnight tonight to enter for our snowfall contest. The question: when will the first inch of snow fall in the Wausau area? So not just a dusting, we need a full inch of snow to become the winning date. You can enter at WAOW.com or mail in to our station here. Unfortunately, you do have to get that mail in today. It will not count if it's mailed out tomorrow. We're also looking at prizes here. Grand prize up to $250 in gift cards. They're pretty great prizes if you do end up being a winner. Take a look outside. Cloudy skies continue across the area. This is a look at Stevens Point from our Auto Select camera. No snowfall, as we mentioned, but we are still seeing some light rain. 43 degrees, the current temperature in Stevens Point with a west-northwest wind of 6 miles per hour. You can see our light rain and drizzle continues through the evening. We're looking at more activity up to the north, and you'll actually see a little bit of white popping up in southern Canada, just north of Lake Superior. We are going to be cold enough tonight that a few of us could see our first few flakes of snow, or at least a mix with the rainfall headed our way. You can see why with our temperatures. This is for the Wausau area, dropping down to the mid-30s tonight, upper 20s for early Friday morning. Thankfully, temperatures are expected to rebound a bit as we track into the weekend. In terms of daytime high temperatures, we're at 46 Thursday, 51 Friday, back into the mid to upper 50s through the weekend. Now here's a look at future track. As we mentioned, we're still tracking some scattered showers and light drizzle through the evening. As we hit about midnight tonight, most of the rain across central Wisconsin will come to an end, but we're going to see pretty continuous light showers forming here north of Rhinelander. And you'll notice as we track in early tomorrow morning, when we cool down in those mid to low 30s, we are tracking a little bit of light flakes of snow that could develop up near the northern Wisconsin border. That's about Rhinelander and further north. That could continue all the way into the late morning on Thursday, maybe even midday, as we're still tracking at least a little bit of flurry or sprinkle activity. Numbers today: 47 in Wausau, below the average of about 53. We got just a little bit of light rain. Overnight forecast tonight: 35 degrees, the northwest wind of 10 to 15. Daytime high tomorrow: 46, still cooler than average. Northwest up to 15 miles per hour. Our extended forecast moving forward does warm us up. Friday, we're looking at sunshine, a high of 51, up to 55 on Saturday with partly to mostly cloudy skies, though brighter than today, and Sunday, a high of 58.
A doorbell camera captured a terrifying scene in suburban Minneapolis earlier this month, a school bus erupting into flames on a neighborhood street. John Lawrenston gives us a look.
She got about halfway to the driveway and I'm like, fire, fire.
The end of the school day is normally routine in Carrie Thorpe's neighborhood. But a couple weeks ago, as her daughter was getting dropped off, Carrie noticed smoke and flames coming from under the bus and alerted the driver.
It was crazy. I mean, I'm just thankful that he was very calm.
They worked quickly to get all 22 kids off safely. Her Ring doorbell captured the East Bethel Elementary students gathering in front of her house as the flames began to spread.
Kids were crying, kids were scared, freaking out. It was quite emotional and kind of frantic.
Within minutes, the fire had taken over.
It moved pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, it was probably within 15 minutes that thing was engulfed. It was crazy to see the tires explode.
School staff and volunteer firefighters arrived quickly. They got the flames under control, and it was when the bus was finally towed away that you could see just how intense the fire was. The heat melted parts of the road in front of Carrie's house. This was where the hood of the bus was.
That's where the hood of the bus was, facing that way. You can see there's still glass.
In the end, some backpacks, some lunch boxes, and a school bus were lost in the fire. But Carrie and other parents along this street know things could have been much worse. She and the bus driver were recognized by parents and school leaders for their heroic efforts as investigators work to figure out what caused the fire. Carrie thinks about what might have happened if she hadn't seen the flames.
I don't think he would have gotten very far, and I don't know if we would have been able to get those kids off the bus as fast. I don't know what would have happened.
Now, and parents say a recent bus safety course at school may have helped with the swift evacuation. Let's get a final check of the forecast now with Jackson.
Well, looking a bit chilly over the next couple of days, similar to what we had yesterday and today. A high of just 46 on Thursday. Another breezy day outside. Winds up to about 15 miles per hour. A chilly night tonight down into the mid-30s and even colder Thursday night into Friday as we drop down into the 20s. So make sure you have your jacket, especially early in the morning and late at night.
All right, thank you, Jackson. That does it for us here at 5. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
Have a good night.